Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood Badger here, and I'm back for my first video of my build recommendations for 3.18. There's a lot of builds that we already know are super strong, and I'm just going to add one to the pile of relatively strong, especially for an SSF start. Now, Taki Cat, if you're watching this, you're welcome. I think I am going to be starting Lightning Trap, but there are a few other builds that I might change my mind. Who knows, I might change my mind, but I am putting this one out because I have a pretty solid idea of how this would function, how easily it goes through the leveling process and into red maps. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. This is going to be a Lightning Trap build. Now, you may have known that I played Ice Trap as my league starter in 3.17, and that did all the content in the game very easily. I was on Trade League, so I was able to purchase a lot of stuff, but I didn't even abuse any of the Omniscience stuff. On Lightning Trap here, you could definitely go Omniscience. I'll talk about that, but I don't have an Omniscience PoB right here. However, we all know that Omniscience PoBs are pretty standard across the board, and then you just slap in your skill and your ascendancy and your tree, and you're good to go. Now, this Lightning Trap build, I would say in terms of traps, we basically have four main trap builds. We have Seismic Trap, which I would say is still the best bosser out there. We then have Ice Trap, which I would say is probably the second best bosser in terms of traps, just because of the defense you're also getting from perma-freezing every single map boss you come across, then also massively slowing most other bosses in the game. Although the clear on Ice Trap is not very good. Explosive Trap is also really good for boss DPS, but it doesn't have your freezes or anything like that. And then Lightning Trap at the end of it is probably one of the best clear ones. Now, I know Seismic Trap also has Exsanguinate Trap as its clear, but as you can see in the background here, Lightning Trap is clearing really well. Lightning Trap is very strong for the clear because you are getting a bit of pierce. You can either get pierce on the tree, you can get pierce through a jewel that you pick up in Act 5, or you can even get pierce from either Shaper boots, or the you can also get pierce through a mod on some gloves, some influence gloves. I can't remember the exact influence right now, but you can get pierce there as well. Now, Lightning Trap is still a really good bosser. You've got Val Lightning Trap that you're going to be using in your links in the end game that's going to be able to apply a really strong shock to any boss that you come across. Plus all of the stacking that you're going to be doing, you've got about a $15 to $20 million damage burst with about 3 to 4 million sustain on a kind of medium budget on the build. Once again, with the pierce, it's really good for clear. Now, we're just going to jump right into the PoB here, and I'll show you all about it. So let's jump right here. First of all, this is the endgame PoB that you're looking at. You could go more into clusters, but I've just decided, once again, like the Ice Trap, just to go into Arcane Pyrotechnics to be able to get you Arcane Surge, and then also Guerrilla Tactics for move speed as you're going through right there. It's just a really easy medium cluster to get going. Now, let me actually just switch there, because you're not actually going to be using Chain Reaction. I forgot to trigger that one off. The Ascendancy is going to be Explosives Expert, Perfect Crime, Pyromaniac, and Born in the Shadows. Now, there are leveling trees all down here. These are just from the 3.16, 3.17 tree for the Ice Trap here, but it is basically exactly the same for Lightning Trap. All of the notes are over here as well. I'm not going to go through all of that, but on the PoB, you can have a look at all of those notes. They're going to be super strong for you, extremely straightforward, considering that you actually pick up Lightning Trap at level 12 and you're going through the entire content with that. One added thing that I will mention, I actually played around with having a 4-link or a pseudo 5-link Lightning Trap just for clear with Pierce in some gloves, and then using a 6-link Lightning Spire Trap for single target. Though it was relatively good, I would actually say just full-on going into Lightning Trap and using Val Lightning Trap is actually mostly stronger, and you don't have two different traps that you have to micromanage, including a cooldown trap. Having the cooldown trap means that you're going to be using even more points coming into things like exceptional performance to be able to get increased skill effect duration, and you are going to be forgoing Born in Shadows for Chain Reaction to be able to give increased cooldown recovery rate for throwing your traps. You can still play around with Lightning Spire Trap if you'd like to, even if in a 4-link or a pseudo 5-link, but I would suggest that just going a traditional Lightning Trap is going to be the way to go about it. Now, I've got a 17% shock here, but this is going to be more like either 30 or 40% on most bosses because you're using Val Lightning Trap, and that's pretty much it. There's not really too much more to say with all of this. It's not a huge build guide, but there's enough in this and this POB right here, coupled with, you know, a bunch of the stuff that I've shown you already, that's going to mean that this is going to be a really, really good starter if you do want to play it. Extremely SSF friendly, extremely budget friendly, and you can scale it up with Omniscience in trade. Now, if you do need an Omniscience tree, please bugger me in the comments down below. I don't have one right now, but if there's enough wanting an Omniscience tree for the lightning trap as well, I will put one together and you can see how much more damage you're actually going to be getting out of that. Probably a little less survivability, but definitely more damage. That's all I really have to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this content, please let me know in the comments down below. Hit that sub button, leave a like, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video where I maybe talk about one more build that I'm potentially going to be starting. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, Badger is out.